Prisma Lopez-Marin. Thank you for joining us. Thursday morning, the Huntingburg Board of Public Works and Safety listened to reports from department heads on tasks that are underway in their respective departments. Assistant Chief of Police Ronnie Bowman told the board that an open house is still in the works as the department continues to settle into their newly renovated facility located along the 500 block of East 1st Street. They returned to the facility on June 20th. The department wants to hold an open house by the end of this month. Also, Street Department Superintendent Jason Stamm provided an overview of the city's interest in the Community Crossing Grant and which projects they plan to include. According to officials with the Indiana Department of Transportation, the Community Crossing Match Grant is a program launched this year to provide nearly $150 million in funding to cities, towns, and counties across the Hoosier State in order to make improvements to local roads and bridges. Community Crossing is a partnership between INDOT and Hoosier communities, both urban and rural, to invest in infrastructure projects that catalyze economic development, create jobs, and strengthen local transportation networks. Stamm explains that four key projects for Huntingburg include the Washington Street from 6th Street to Church Avenue, including 7th Street, the 400 West running from somewhere around the freezer plant all the way to Phoenix, and 11th Street from Chestnut to Highway 231. Stamm also indicated that the fourth project is on 12th Street, which will also be from Chestnut to Highway 231. Stamm says that department is working with Cash Wagner and Associates on the grant. The Director of Marketing and Client Relations of the firm, Tiara Damon, was on hand to represent the firm and says that the project scores higher if the proposal indicates placing more funds on the match. This is significant as the grant requires a 50-50 match between INDOT and local governmental units, and match funds must come from local option income tax, wheel surtax, and rainy day funds. The city of Huntingburg has $480,000 from their local option income tax distribution funds. Stamm noted that the Washington Street project is a priority for the city out of the aforementioned, and that the match is looking into becoming a 60-40 match proposal to score higher in the matching ratio. Mayor Denny Spinner says the city of Huntingburg is ahead of the game as there has been progressive work on current projects and they can demonstrate an impact on economic development. The deadline for the grant is July 29th at 5 p.m. He says cities, towns, and counties receiving funds will be notified by the end of August of this year. The results of investigative patrolling by Indiana State Troopers achieved the arrest of a Washington man and a Linton man who were found to be allegedly in possession of drugs after they demonstrated they were in need of roadside assistance. Just after 12:30 Thursday morning, a trooper with the Indiana State Police was patrolling County Road 100 West near County Road 225 North when he observed a red Chevrolet Impala. After turning around to watch the driving behavior of the vehicle, the trooper found that the vehicle on County Road 100 West stopped along the side of the road with its headlights off as if it were disabled. The trooper stopped to see if he could be of assistance and spoke with 46-year-old Ronald Ketchum of Washington and 35-year-old Matthew Rodriguez of Linton, who were both standing outside of the Chevrolet. Police say both men informed authorities that a female had been driving the car and that she had pulled over and ran from the scene. The trooper requested assistance from the Washington Police Department, the Daviess County Sheriff's Department, and other troopers with the Indiana State Police. Officers began searching the area for the female and then found a bag of methamphetamine in a ditch 8 feet from the Chevrolet. A Daviess County Canine Sergeant arrived with his canine Drago and performed an open-air search of the Chevy. The canine gave a positive indication for the presence of narcotics in the vehicle, and a subsequent search led to the seizure of marijuana and numerous legend and Scheduled for controlled substances. as well as paraphernalia. During the investigation, officers learned that Ketchum and Rodriguez had made up the story of the female running from the scene and that they were the only two people in the car. Ronald Ketchum faces charges of possession of methamphetamine, maintaining a common nuisance, both level 6 felonies, a Class A misdemeanor count of possession of a controlled substance, and a Class A misdemeanor count of possession of a legend drug, as well as possession of marijuana, a Class B misdemeanor, and a Class A misdemeanor count of false informing. Meanwhile, Rodriguez is looking at a level 6 felony count of possession of methamphetamine, maintaining a common nuisance, and possession of a controlled substance, as well as a Class A, which is a Class A misdemeanor, and then a possession of a legend drug, a Class A misdemeanor as well, possession of marijuana, Class B misdemeanor, a Class A misdemeanor count of false informing, and a Class A misdemeanor count of possession of paraphernalia. Both were taken to and booked into the Daviess County Security Center. A Lawrence County man was placed under arrest on alcohol and drug charges early Thursday morning. At around 3:30 a.m., trooper with the Indiana State Police stopped a small pickup along Interstate 69 near the 48-mile marker after observing the driver discard a burning cigarette from the vehicle. The driver, identified as 47-year-old John Fish of Bedford, and a female passenger, 34-year-old Talia Blake of Freedom, were occupying the truck. The police say while talking to Fish, the trooper observed signs of impairment. Further investigation by police revealed that Fish was indeed under the influence of methamphetamine, and during a search, authorities found that meth was inside of the vehicle. Fish and Blake were arrested and taken to the Pike County Jail. Fish faces charges of possession of methamphetamine and driving while intoxicated, while Blake is looking at a charge of possession of methamphetamine. As the Memorial Hospital Foundation begins the second year of its gardening project, it is soliciting volunteers to help with tasks including planting, weeding, harvesting, and delivering produce. Last year, the hospital planted about 3/4 of an acre at the lodge located along South Newton Street. This year, the project has expanded to a 2-acre plot with intention of getting the produce to food deserts and food banks in several counties in the hospital service area. The national nonprofit higher relief organization Feeding America says 10.8% of DuBois County population was food insecure in 2013, the most recent year for which the statistics are available. That means more than 4,500 county residents had limited or uncertain access to healthy and safe food. Feeding America numbers for surrounding counties include 12.6% in Spencer County, 13.3% in Pike County, 13.1% in Martin County, and 12.5% in Daviess County. To volunteer, contact Memorial Hospital Foundation Executive Director Mike Jones at 812-996-8428, or you can also email him at mjones@mhhhc.org. Now as you're preparing for your weekend, keep in mind that the Pike County 4-H Fair is starting tomorrow, July 9th through July 16th at the Petersburg Fairgrounds, and the Perry County 4-H Fair is taking place today through July 11th at the Tell City Fairgrounds. Check their event Facebook page for more information. Stay tuned. Weather and sports still to come on 18 WJTS News.